screen, right? So welcome everybody. My name is Brandon Clifford, Senior Vice President of Franchise Development here at HomeWell Franchising. Really excited to share this Friday Discovery webinar with you all today, where we're going to be going over an important value add to your franchise, which is working with a franchise business coach. So today we're going to talk about the power of coach and the importance of working with a coach. And I mean, just to kind of set the tone. I mean, everyone needs a coach. Right. I mean, even the greatest athletes in the world, they always have a coach behind them. Right. And being a business owner, it's no different. The importance of working with someone who you can trust and you can, download to and lean on in times of struggles and then celebrate with in times of victories it's really invaluable. And we place a lot of emphasis on that here at HomeWell. And we try to, give you guys the best coaches that we can find, people who really care about your business and want to see you succeed, right? So to kind of get started, what is a franchise business consultant? Like what's an FBC, and ultimately this is someone who's going to work with our franchise owners to make sure that they're following the best practices, they're staying within brand standards for sure, but really focus on performance and management, to help you achieve your goals, right? Ultimately, our obligation as a franchise company is to find out what is your definition of success and then give you all the tools and resources that you need to get there. And this coach that you're going to be assigned is a big piece of that, right? So ultimately, kind of be summarized in three things. A franchise business consultant's job is to advise you, right? They're going to give you advice on best practices, what is working in other organizations across the country. They're going to counsel you. Okay. So they're going to, help you debrief or pull apart a situation and see how you can maybe solve the problem better or faster or cheaper or wiser, right? And they're also going to be there to hold you accountable, right? We like to say they're your accountability buddy, all right? You're going to share with them your weekly, monthly, quarterly, annual, long-term goals, whatever those might be. And they're going to be that person that's going to say, hey, Deidre, hey, Nuri, hey, Melissa, you told me your goal is to get to 600 hours, by September or by October, whatever the date's going to be. And this is what we need to do to get there. And they're going to continue to remind you and hold you accountable to hit those goals along the way. And so it's important, though, to understand, the relationship between the franchise business coach and the business owner, though, because at the end of the day, you are independent. Okay. You're a business owner. You call the shots, you make the decisions, right? And your franchise business coach, they're not your employee, right? They don't necessarily report to you. Okay. The relationship, in my opinion, needs to be one that's equals. Okay. They're going to respect you. They're going to respect that you're ultimately the decision maker in your local market on what you're going to do for your business. And what's best for your business, but they are experienced. They have a lot of insight and wisdom into what other agencies are doing across the country. And they work for the franchise company. So they're going to look out for what's, in the best interest of the whole system of what's for the franchise brand. And we have to figure out a way to make those two marry up together. And when it's done the right way, that's really when why franchise agencies in the local market can grow a lot faster than some of their independent counterparts, right? You're able to tap into that wisdom. You're able to tap into that experience that other franchisees have gone before you, and use that through the franchise business coach. So to kind of summarize it, the way we like to look at it is the franchise business consultant is kind of like the conduit. Okay. They're the eyes and ears. They're the information exchange between the franchisees, who are in the local market, doing the agency operations day to day, week to week, month to month, and the corporate entity. Okay. Us here at HomeWell. They're the information exchange between the two, so that we can, we're working on where is the industry going 20 years from now, 30 years from now, what's the next regulatory changes that are coming down the pipe, what are the new marketing materials, the new buzzwords, the new trends that are happening in the home care industry. They're going to pass that down to the system, right? And then, talking to the owners, they're going to hear about different vendors, different marketing tactics that are working day in, day out, different recruiting tactics. And they're going to bring that back to the corporate team so we can discern it and work on it and see how we can roll it out and help the system as a whole. So what are some of the key things that they're going to do? They're going to work with you on a weekly basis, because you're going to have access to your franchise business coach from the moment you sign your franchise agreement. Honestly, once you open your doors, you can talk to them every single week. Sometimes, our three coaches might not 100% want me to say this, but you're probably going to have their cell phone number, and you might even talk to them, daily, depending on what's going on in your business, right? So the one thing they're going to work with you a lot on is your business planning. The one of the most important things you can do as a business owner is take some time to step back and plan for the future, right? But it's one of those things that's always pushed aside when you get caught up in the day-to-day, week-to-week activities of running your business, right? And so your franchise business coach is going to work with you, to teach you they're not going to do your business plan for you, but they're going to teach you how to do a business plan, and then how to make sure it's not just some document that sits on a shelf and collects dust. They're going to pull it out probably quarterly with you, if not annually, review your business plan, help you tweak your business plan for the future to make sure you always have a roadmap. You don't have anything that slips through the cracks, and you know where you're driving your ship to, right? The next thing that they're going to work on, which is kind of an element of your business planning, is budgeting. Okay, making sure that the financial health of your company it's the most important thing, right? Where you're getting into business ownership, right? You're leaving the job, the employee mindset, and becoming a business owner for a reason, because you want to grow something of equity for yourself and your family. Okay, so but the difference in mindset shift from budgeting, a lot of people tie it to like setting a budget for your home, which is like, okay, this is how much money I have coming in, these are my expenses, and this is what I have left over, right? Budgeting for a business or for a company can sometimes be a little bit different. We like to have the budget be sort of, forward thinking, as opposed to just managing expenses, so figuring out where you're going to make investments, whether it's new hires, whether it's marketing investments, whether it's a digital marketing campaign, or it's a local event. What's going to do to help you grow and scale your business and stay competitive in the local market. And it's really important that you're forecasting these things, and you're laying a strong financial plan. So then that way, when you review your business plan with your business coach annually or quarterly, like I said, you can look back and you can measure your results. And then that's when your business becomes repeatable, so your franchise business coach is going to be constantly talking to you about, okay, have you set your budget for the next quarter? Have you done it for the next year? And then that way you can kind of look back and see how you did. Were you ahead of your budget? Were you below your budget? Did you forecast your sales properly? Did you forecast your expenses properly? Are you making money? And are you growing at the pace that you want to hit your goals? And they're going to always tie it to KPIs and metrics. We try to measure everything we do, because it's one thing to go out there, a lot of entrepreneurs, people who are solopreneurs, they'll go out there and they'll have a really big success, and they'll grow something that's large, and maybe it's a piece of software, maybe it's a widget, maybe it's some sort of product or whatever service, and they sell it, and and then you see they might have other business ideas that they try, and and oftentimes there are a lot of failures, and that's because typically entrepreneurs, they don't measure things the right way. They don't follow their KPIs. They don't follow their metrics. So they don't know how they got there. It can't be repeatable if you don't know how you got there. And so your franchise business coach is going to work with you to help you understand how the operating system WellSky works, running monthly reports, really focusing on the key performance indicators of your business, that then it becomes repeatable. And it's something that's wash, rinse, repeat every single month. So then you can, forecast your budget appropriately moving forward. And we like to use this sort of euphemism of rowing your boat, because, quite often business owners, it becomes very, it's a common mistake that they make when you're rowing your boat and you're focused on something that you're good at. Let's say, for instance, it's sales, right? And you know that you're good at selling. So you're going to go out in the local market and you're going to focus on that sales side of your boat. Okay. And you're rowing that boat. What happens when you row on one side over and over and over and over and over again? You go into circles, right? You really need to start rowing your boat with two oars. Okay. You have to make sure it's a well-balanced, a well-oiled machine. And so that second oar, that one oar on the one side right there is you as a business owner. who's going to be, handling the day-to-day operations, managing your team, and really passionate about wanting to own a business in the home care space. And then your franchise business coach can be that other side, the strategy, the forward thinking, the holding you accountable to make sure that you get both oars rowing together, which is then going to propel your business forward or propel your boat forward to hit your destination that you're trying to get to, right? And we're going to keep a 30,000 foot here on what this looks like today, but we're going to focus really intently, your franchise business coach, on the first 90 days of your opening, okay? To make sure you hit a really, really good launch trajectory, right? That's when we're laying the foundation. So, well, like I said, you're probably going to talk to your business coach once a week for the longevity. Eventually, even it might go to every other week, depending on your schedule and how busy you are. But for those first 90 days, this business coach is going to be, sticking to you. They're going to be there right next to you to make sure you're doing the right habits. You're tracking the right things. They're going to have really small, minute goals like, hey, I want you to work on these 3 things for this week, and that's it. That way we get the boat rowing together on the right way, right? And so here at HomeWell, we focus, if we're going to boil things down, we're going to focus on these areas together to make sure your business is going on the right track. Okay. It's a performance-driven culture where we're going to, we don't just throw you out there with an operations manual and see where things land, but we're going to give you full life cycle support, from this business coach to make sure whether it's something you're, if you're just working on today on learning how to launch a recruitment strategy to find more caregivers, if it's, working on, how to develop a new sales plan to grow and add more clients, if it's expanding your territory, if we're trying to diversify your revenue sources, this is what your franchise business coach works with you on, and it's all going to be data driven decision making, working on those KPIs to making sure, we know that we can rebuild this again if you decide to acquire more territory, open up another office, it becomes very, very repeatable. Right. So the more, and it really kind of boils down to, because the more efficient you run your business, the more impact you have. And, this industry, home care, a lot of you are probably, many people, they typically come from one or two sides of the perspective of the spectrum, but a lot of them come from like, hey, this is an industry where I can, at the end of the day, lay my head on the pillow and know that I really took care of a lot of families. I was able to help people live longer, healthier lives at home, or provide jobs for an income for a lot of people, maybe single mothers or people that are struggling, and that's all well and good, and but it can be very emotional. It can pull at the the heartstrings, right? And it makes it hard to focus on the business side of it, or the other side of the spectrum. But you have to always keep your eye on the prize and understand that the more efficient your business is, the more impact you really can have in that regards, right? If you get really, really good at running a business and you build this machine that can acquire clients quickly and can, recruit a high volume of caregivers, that's more seniors and more families that you can help, right? So I just want to leave you guys all with this one quote that I think summarizes, the franchisee franchisor relationship really, really well. It's by James Cash Penney, the founder of JCPenney. It says, growth is never by mere chance. It's the result of forces working together. So at the end of the day, our franchise business coach has a lot of tools to help you. Okay. And they're going to get to know you, and they really do care about the groups that they work with. One thing that they don't have is a crystal ball. And I like to share this quite a bit, because ultimately you have to work as well, and you have to work with your franchise business coach. And that's when you work together, that's when the results really come. So thank you guys so much, as always. I hope you enjoyed this webinar today. Just to leave everyone the same way I always do, make sure you stick with your franchise business coach. Your franchise business development director. At this point, you're in the franchise development side, right? And then afterwards, you'll stick with your franchise business coach. So reach out to us, whether you're working, you're just doing your due diligence on your own right now, or you're further down, getting towards decision time. We're here to help you and support you every step of the way. Thank you guys so much.